Well, I'm mostly, I do, I break out the kicks on occasion, but my big thing is I just keep on focusing on slower and slower. So I did enjoy the hard style, and actually I reconnected with an old teacher for Wing Chun for, well, one class. And it was fun, but it was just so harsh and just so, and it didn't feel right. I didn't want to taint the level I have now with going backwards and banging.
Hmm.
I appreciate what they do, but I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah.
Still have a few buddies we get together on rare occasion and throw down a bit, but it's much more in a push hands way than it was in a kung fu way. I still love playing with the animal styles, but again, that's from a much more Tai Chi perspective. Because when I first got it, well, let's see, I started with Wing Chun, and then when I found, let's see, there was a few in between, and then I found Cheeto Chuan, which is the 8 animal styles. I thought I'd arrived because the teacher had this much internal, and it was, it was more internal than I'd ever seen before. So I thought, that was it. And then I found the deeper aspects of Tai Chi, and I look back and I laugh. Well, I did discover while I was doing Green Dragon, that was the one in Chicago, I found out that I was about 20 minutes from Master Liao. And
Whoa.
yeah, had I known, I'd have been with Master Liao the whole time. But, we get what we need, and I was much more young and aggressive and stupid back then. So I was able to burn out a lot of the old ways. Because I honestly, I don't know if I really would have seen the true depth at that age. I was ready for, I always say, when the student is ready, and I've been fortunate to have some amazing teachers along the way. Well, right now I'm at the wellness center of a local hospital. I teach meditation, Tai Chi, and what I call baby steps Kung Fu, which is all about walking and breathing and just balance. Because, this is the majority of the people here are older and recovering from whatever illnesses, injuries, surgeries. So there's a big draw for people learning how to walk. So I know that those names won't mean anything to you guys, but then there's also Lansing, which you may have heard of, the capital of Michigan. There's another hospital chain down there called Sparrow, and I'm going to be teaching Tai Chi for Parkinson's there pretty quick. It's just a matter of getting through all the paperwork and getting that. There's a yoga class that I teach one day a week at a local spa. Well, not really spa, more or less a studio, but it's fun just because it gives me an opportunity to really dig into my stretching. So I get to play and get to help some people along the way. I won't say that I didn't like David, but everybody always assumes you're Dave. And I hated that. And at one point I was in a fraternity with 5 other Daves. So I was really tired of the name, and I was in China in 04, and I found out that Dawei was the Chinese translation. And I said, "Ooh, I like that. I'm going to keep that." So I started using that after I came back. So that was I think I made it official in 05. And then Mateo was born in 08. And in 10, I became a single father. And then probably about a year later, I decided I should probably know what this name means. I looked it up, and it means big protector, and I was just blown away. It was just one of those things that was divinely inspired, and everybody says it fits me. So my given name is Joyce, and a boy named Joyce, so much grief over my name. One of the nicknames for me was Joy Boy. When Justin was being made, we found, because we weren't married, we didn't have to give him my last name. And I did a little research and said, literally, according to the law, I could name him whatever I wanted. So one morning I was meditating on it, and there's so many traditions that say how you name your child is very important. And that morning it popped in Li, strength and power. So Justin's name is Justin Kylie, which roughly means justice. What's Kai? Victorious, and Li, strength and power. And Mateo is Hebrew for gift of God. His middle name is Odysseus, which is a long journey. So I gave him some really powerful names, and I was still going by Joyce then, and then it just kind of evolved into me being Dawei Li.
Okay. Sounds
Oh,
good.
I'm always open. I had done Tai Chi classes for kids in the past. I remember one time we were at a yoga studio, and it was clear I was losing the kids. Well, luckily this place was well stocked, and they had a big old pile of pillows. So next thing I had the kids throwing pillows against the wall using proper technique. They were having a blast, and I kept their attention.
That's creative.
Yeah.
Now, in regards to kids, and I'm actually hoping to be able to explore it at the new place. I've read stuff about how drumming and ball bouncing are really good at synchronizing the minds of kids with autism. So between the drum and they're bouncing the balls with the drum beat, either to each other or to themselves, one ball, two balls, whatever. But doing it with the drum beats, it really harmonizes their minds and really, for that moment, kind of wipes out all of their symptoms. So the consciousness, the brain function, all of that has always intrigued me. And that's one of my goals, is to really explore that, both for the Parkinson's and for the kids with learning opportunities. So I'm open to, just like Shifu, it's how can I bring this to a wider audience? Because let's face it, there's a lot of people who, oh yeah, I'm gonna, and they never do. Well, I believe that's part of our opportunity to package it in such a way that we can we can bring it to a wider audience, especially those who really need it. Because the Tai Chi is so vast and so deep that it can be applied. And people ask me, well, who's it good for? I said, well, are you breathing? Then it's good for you. So there's no end of who needs it. The question is, how do we package it so that others will see the benefit and start? It really depends on the market. Like I was supposed to, they went long, so I wasn't able to get in, but we had a meeting scheduled with the neurology department today. So because I'm in this environment with more elderly and more people with cognitive issues, then I go at that with whatever slant would appeal to them. And once they've had that wow moment, now they want to know more. So that's the big thing, is getting to that point beyond the, well, I know what that is. Because let's face it, I imagine all of us, when we first got introduced to Tai Chi, we thought we might have known and we had no clue.
That's true. You evolve in in what you know and what you don't know.
And I'm still at that point of knowing I pretty much have very little clue of what Tai Chi really is. So that's why I'm here every day and just digging in further and further, because I'm going to make the most of this life. And for those who are serious about taking their worlds to higher levels, my door's open. The Fu Krew is going to be a phone app that kind of like a Facebook, but mainly it started out as mainly for martial artists. And so that aspect of it is, let's say I'm downtown, I got 15 minutes to kill. Hey, any crew available? Oh, there's somebody 2 blocks away. Let me look at his profile. Oh, he does this. Oh, I want to learn that. Hey, are you available? All right, let's meet. Boom, 2 minutes later, you got a new training buddy. To a larger extent, I have a whole bunch of products that I want to have made that are Bluetooth, so that we can compete with anybody anywhere in the world in real time. Another aspect of it is having a panic button so that, because I mean, the Fu Krew on Facebook is already in, I don't know, 30, 40 countries. Let's say you're traveling and you know you're going to go to Sweden in a month. Jump on the Fu Krew. Hey, I'm going to Sweden in a month. Any crew available? So that you have training partners and friends in a new place you've never been before. And for home, something doesn't feel right. Let me hit the panic button. Any crew available? Next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 buddies all going with you to wherever it is you need to go, creating power in numbers. And Fu, I don't have one on me, but it's happiness and good fortune.
Happiness and good fortune. Fu Krew.
Nope, this all, well, I can't take credit for it, but I feel like I was tasked with creating it. So the inspirations continue coming. I actually have a few companies locally that they're supposed to be working on it. I think they kind of dropped the ball, but one of my goals is to make the steel rings in Flint from recycled steel, make a bunch of the products from recycled plastic in Flint, because Flint has been so beaten down over the years. And I literally see this as a multi-billion-dollar company, and I want to do it in Flint, taking, because then we're doing many things. We're going to create a new water system. We're taking care of the pollution. We're taking care of the trash. We're creating industry. We're creating jobs. We're creating new opportunities. So it's one of those things where now I have met with the past 3 mayors. I've met with Chamber of Commerce. I've met with the police chief, and I pretty much get the same sing-song every time. I mean, let's face it, they want to maintain their point at the top of the hill. So I continue going around community organizations, sports teams. I've met with all the sports teams in town. So I just continue pressing forward into whatever ways that I can see that I could find that right key or that right person to make all this unfold. I've reached out to Detroit billionaires. I've reached out to community organizers. Still haven't found the right people yet, but I feel that as long as I stay the course, that we're going to create some amazing things. Sure. Facebook is good. KungFuFlint.com is good. The Fu Krew group on Facebook is good. I do have a Instagram, which I barely use. I do have a TikTok where I've got a bunch of 1-minute videos. So I'm open to anybody who wants to connect up. They've got a bunch of different ways they can do it. And if you want, I've got, I don't know, 20, maybe 30, I forget how many. 1 minute, I call it 1-minute Kung Fu videos on TikTok that you can feel free to use those if you want. They're, basic stuff of this posture, this stretch, that stretch. So I did those just to get the whole 1-minute Kung Fu started, to let people know, because people always say, well, I don't have time. Well, yeah, you do. Here's how you integrate it into your daily world.